So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our off-season rebuild series, and today it's going to be the Brooklyn Nets. Now, at the time I am recording this, the Brooklyn Nets currently sit at 32-48. They've been eliminated from playoff contention for quite some time now, and unfortunately, the way that this team is currently set up, it does not look like they're going to be contending for quite some time. As I'm sure many of you are aware, they obviously had a very big swing and ended up missing with the big three of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. Now, James Harden, that trade specifically has very much hindered the future of the Brooklyn Nets. They don't control the destiny of their own first-round pick until 2028, and this roster by itself is not very talented. There are definitely a few bright spots on this team. We'll talk about them and the rest of the roster in just a second. But before we do, of course, as always, if you guys have any other video ideas, make sure to let me know down below in the comment section. I've been really enjoying some of the off-season rebuilds we've been doing. This one is actually probably one of the more challenging ones today, just because of the whole draft pick situation. So, going to be a bit of a challenge, but I'm very much looking forward to it. Let me know what else you guys want to see down below. Let's get into it. Now, we just went ahead and talked about a little bit of the bad stuff going on with the Brooklyn Nets right now. Of course, the big swing for James Harden to kind of create a super team in Brooklyn ended up failing pretty much miserably. Kevin Durant wore a shoe that was like one size smaller. We might be having an entirely different conversation right now, but we are not. They ended up moving on from the entirety of the big three. Kevin Durant is now a Phoenix Suns. The good part about this deal and that whole situation is that they do have 3 unprotected first-round picks from Phoenix. I'm slowly becoming more of the opinion that the big trades that include multiple first-round picks, especially unprotected first-round picks, tend to not work out as well as teams tend to hope they will. So, the Kevin Durant one's still a little up in the air. This is his first full season with Phoenix, although they are fighting for a play-in spot. We think back to the James Harden deal that we've just been discussing with the Houston Rockets. That didn't work out well. You look at the Rudy Gobert trade. I do think the Rudy Gobert trade gets talked about in a much lesser tone than what some people really should actually talk about it in, because the idea of Rudy Gobert is not necessarily, a statistics kind of thing. It's not a numbers thing. People look at like points and rebounds and all that stuff and they're like, oh, this sucks. Rudy Gobert's presence alone is so underrated. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Let's get into this roster. All right, man. Starting out at the point guard spot, you got Dennis Schroeder, who came over, I believe, after some sort of trade with the Toronto Raptors at the deadline, but probably not a long-term piece. Definitely a solid enough option to be in the rotation. So we'll go year to year with him. I saw a report yesterday when you're seeing this, that the Brooklyn Nets are committed to Ben Simmons moving forward. I mean, talk about a fall from grace. I mean, we think about that playoff series back in 2021 in the second round when he was still a 76er. And if he just goes up and just dunks that fucking basketball, maybe Ben Simmons is a different person today. Now, I know back injuries are never something to play with, and it's super unfortunate for him, but I don't know, man. I believe I saw he was like in the history of the 76ers. He's like the most fine player ever. Maybe that might have even been all of basketball. So I don't know what I'm going to do with Simmons. He's not a positive asset. There's no way to flip him into one. So we'll figure it out. Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be a free agent. Decent enough overall. Maybe can be a rotation piece. We'll figure it out. Shooting guard spot. One of the good, bright, young parts for the Brooklyn Nets is that Cam Thomas is an absolute walking bucket, and he's only 22 years old. So he's going to be, I guess, a building block for me here today. I don't know how much better he's going to get according to 2K anyways. We'll play it by ear. Lonnie Walker was a hot name at the deadline. I for sure thought they were going to send him out, recuperate some sort of asset, but no, they held on to him, and now he's probably going to leave for nothing. God bless the Brooklyn Nets. Keon Johnson, Jalen Martin, probably not going to be a lot for us here today. Mikal Bridges, I have a bunch of opinions about. I'll explain Mikal Bridges like this. He's probably one of the better third options in basketball you can have. He's a decent number 2 option. He's not a number 1 option. He never has been. He probably never will be. It's unfortunate. Guy's an absolute Iron Man, legitimately never misses a game. But for me, the way people talked about Mikal Bridges when he came over and like the focal piece of the Kevin Durant trade with Phoenix is you would think he's some, young, bright star that they acquired. I mean, the guy's 27 years old. How much better is he actually going to get? And maybe Brooklyn's misused him a little bit, but ultimately, I just don't see it. I really don't as a number 1. So I'd like to ideally get him down to a number 3. He's still a really solid player. I just don't think he's ever going to be that star you want to build your franchise around. And it seems right now anyways that that's what the Brooklyn Nets are committed to. And that's a one-way ticket to mediocrity for the next 5 years, which nobody wants. Jalen Wilson, Dariq Whitehead here as well. He was a first-round pick, right? Yes, he was back in last year, excuse me. So maybe a little bit of potential with both those young players. Power forward spot, Cam Johnson signed an extension with Brooklyn last offseason. He's definitely a nice rotation piece, not any sort of star, and I'm glad they're not trying to make him out to be one. But definitely a decent price to pay for him, so we'll see, and only an 80 overall. Dorian Finney-Smith, another name that I thought could potentially be moved at the deadline. Did not happen, so I don't really know what we're going to do with him. He's 31. He's a solid rotation piece. He's a good defensive player. I just don't know anymore. Trendon Watford, only 23. Would like to see maybe him develop a little bit more, can eventually contribute on a somewhat significant level. Keita Bates-Diop won't be much. Center spot for me is interesting. Nick Claxton is going to be a free agent this offseason. I'm assuming Brooklyn is probably going to pay him. I think there are probably going to be many other teams interested in his services. He's a tremendous defensive center. Not a lot of offensive upside, but ultimately he's only still 25 years old. My goal is to bring him back today. You got Ron Sharp here as well, only 22, and then Noah Clowney. So that is kind of my thoughts on this Brooklyn Nets roster. I still don't understand why they didn't, at least kind of think about some trades, like some more trades at the deadline. Like, if Houston was legitimately willing at some point, I don't know if it was the deadline, to give the Brooklyn Nets back all of their draft picks from the botched James Harden trade that the Nets made, why would you not do that? Nothing pisses me off more, and I'm not even a fan of any of these teams that do this dumbass shit, than when teams just commit to mediocrity. It absolutely drives me crazy. It pisses me off to no end. You look at the Chicago Bulls, you look at the Atlanta Hawks, drives me insane. I absolutely hate it. I feel bad for the fans. And the Brooklyn Nets aren't even mid. They just fucking suck. It sucks. Let's get into it. LeBron James, we're overriding the retirement as we always do. Hall of Fame. We got nobody there. Jersey retirement. See Kyle Lowry getting his jersey hung up in the rafters in Toronto. Now we enter the draft lottery where you can see our draft pick is projected number 9 to Houston. It's unprotected. I made sure to double check all of it. We will have the Phoenix Suns first round pick this year, although it is only going to sit at, oh wait, no, it says they have it. Let me double check. Oh wait, no, it's 2025. I think it's 2025. I'll double check and confirm before the draft. The Brooklyn Nets fire Jacques Vaughn. I'm not going to lie to you. I forget the name of the guy they promoted to interim or whatever it is, but I'm just going to move on. This is a perfect video for Mike Stauffer. I need the best head coach possible because this team is not really looking like there's a lot going forward to be excited about right now. Let me confirm the draft pick. I know there's no other picks here, so let me just double check. It is 2025. I just wanted to make sure I had it right and I didn't take Phoenix's pick back for nothing. So it's an unprotected pick from Phoenix in 2025. It is an unprotected pick from Phoenix in 2027. And it is an unprotected pick from Phoenix in 2029. Steppy and Rule can't trade back-to-back years. We also do have a pick protected 1 through 8 from Philadelphia in 2027. I don't know if that's actually going to turn into anything. 2K and all of their glory has it listed as unprotected because, of course, they do. I'm probably not going to trade into the draft unless anybody wants to be a world-class idiot and just let me have a draft pick for Ben Simmons, who I actually cannot believe his overall is still going up if you move his position around. So let's just see. I'm just curious. He's actually 3 stars. Oh, that's insane. My goal right now is to not give up any more draft capital in any way, shape, or form. I know we're probably not going to be great next year, and again, there's not exactly like we have a lot to commit to, but getting draft picks from the Thunder, who's this pick from? This is a Utah unprotected next year? I cannot believe how stupid this game is sometimes. All right, so it's not a first-round pick this year. That's fine by me. We probably were never going to have anything anyways. Keita Bates-Diop actually had a player option. I was not aware of that. Keon Johnson probably not going to qualify for $2.5 million at a 70 overall. That probably wasn't going to see much playing time. Jacob Gilliard, I thought he was a Grizzly. Did I make that up? No, he was. Oh, okay. Is he with Brooklyn now? I didn't know. I know he's the shortest player in the league, I believe. All right, let's see. Do we have anybody big here in free agency? Nick Claxton, unrestricted free agent. Without a doubt, my number one priority. He wants about $20 million annually, just a little bit over. It's going to be a backloaded contract. And honestly, I think that's fine by me. I'm fully prepared to let Lonnie Walker walk. That's funny. I wouldn't mind bringing him back. He's still only 25 and he's a good player. I just don't know what the price tag is going to be. And then same with Trendon Watford, Dennis Smith Jr. But like specifically, like Martin can go, Johnson can go, Gilliard can go. So I'm going to wait, make sure I get Claxton back 100%, and then we'll kind of go from there. Let's just see who is on this team right now, because I'm sure there's going to be a couple big decisions that do have to be made. So I might pull the trigger on a trade already. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but it's not going to be one where I'm giving up a ton of draft picks. I know I just got done talking about not wanting to give up really any draft capital, but Darius Garland's only 3.5 stars in value, and I feel like I could probably get a trade for him. He only does nothing but get better in this game. So how about I throw Dennis and Dorian in a trade, and we shake hands, Cleveland, and kind of call it even. I also have some other pieces, like Noah Clowney is definitely nice to have, and I would hang on to him in a lot of other circumstances, but draft picks aren't exactly our thing that we have right now, so I'd probably rather give up Clowney, who is 2 stars in value. And then I'd do the same thing, probably Wilson. Oh, okay. stupid is as stupid does. Very excited to have Darius Garland on this team. He's a very underrated point guard in my opinion. I know the fit with him and Mitchell isn't always ideal, but here he's probably going to take over as our number one scoring option. So a little bit of a shorter backcourt with him and Cam Thomas. It's certainly not the best defensive backcourt by any means. Bridges is still going to be my small forward moving forward. I don't think he's going to be my biggest overall the entire video, but heading into next year, we got to live with what we have. All right, Keita Bates-Diop also probably not going to cut it for me, so we're going to kind of clean house on this bench. Let's just see, are there any other pieces here that maybe a little bit more upside? I mean, a guy like Keon Ellis wouldn't be the worst addition in the world. Only giving up a second-round pick, I actually think that's a pretty good pickup. I actually really wouldn't mind that at all. So unless you see something else that I like more, which I do not, let's go ahead and pull the trigger on this deal right here. With the Sacramento Kings, we'll pick up Keon Ellis. He's going to be the new backup shooting guard here behind Mr. Cam Thomas. So backup point guards, actually, I'll let Dariq Whitehead play. Who cares? No matter what we do to this team, no matter who we bring up to bring into backup Bridges, we're not going to be contending. So I think we all can agree on that. So let's just let Dariq Whitehead play a little bit. And then I need a backup 4. So backup 4, backup 1 is what I'm looking for here. Do I maybe go out and throw money at a guy like Emmanuel Quickly? Has 6 offers right now. None of them really kind of real offers. Could be another scoring option off the bench. Malik Monk would bring that kind of same identity. So I don't know. I'll throw some money at Emmanuel Quickly. I'm not saying he's going to be my forever, bench piece or anything like that, but he's certainly a nice piece to have as a 6-man. So we're going to do that, and we also need to find ourselves a power forward. How about a guy like Obi Toppin, who's honestly, I think would be a pretty solid option for us. So let's throw some money at him. He ends up accepting as well. We're going to renounce everybody else here. You're free to go. And we have officially finalized our rotation heading into year 1 in Brooklyn. It's not great by any means, but we're not really playing to tank right now for obvious reasons. I'll see you guys at the start of year 1. Although I am of the opinion that we had a really successful first offseason considering what we had to work with, I still don't really see a path for this team to actually be competitive here in the Eastern Conference. So maybe we surprise somebody, end up in the play-in or something like that. But in all honesty, this is going to be a development year. It's going to be another year where we really don't control our draft pick, and it's just something we're going to have to live with. Darius Garland, Cam Thomas, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and Nick Claxton's your 1 through 5. Huge addition here with Garland. He's already developing well, up to an 86 overall. I'm also very happy I was able to bring back Nick Claxton. Bench unit has a new 6-man here with Emmanuel Quickly. Very excited about the possibilities with him. I'm playing him way more minutes than I typically give a 6-man, but he's very much deserving of it because he's a very good player. Obi Toppin, we brought in. He's going to be my backup 4. You got Deron Sharp developing nicely up to a 77 overall. Keon Ellis is still at a 74. Dariq Whitehead is up to a 73. So all this under first-year head coach Mike Stauffer, who obviously has legitimately perfect ratings. And I don't know, maybe we could be an exciting young team. I guess young's kind of relative. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 1. We finished our first season in Brooklyn with a record of 38-44. It's honestly not too surprising considering what this team looks like, but it's definitely something we can build upon. It is another MVP for Nikola Jokic. Robert Dillingham is a Philadelphia 76er. He's Rookie of the Year. How did they have the 7th overall pick? Did they maybe just miss the playoffs? Didn't win in the play-in, missed the playoffs, and then subsequently ended up with good lottery results? I don't know. Oh my God. Victor Wembanyama is your D-boy. Men Thompson, most improved. Trae Young, clutch player of the year. Mike Malone, head coach of the Denver Nuggets, takes home coach of the year. All right, let's get into it a little bit. In terms of standings, we are the 10 seed. We're technically in the play-in game, so there's a possibility we could end up as a 7, or actually no, only an 8 seed. So maybe that happens. I don't know. Let's take a look at the stats on the season. How did everybody look? Cam Thomas, Darius Garland, Mikal Bridges. Now, I mean, we wanted him as a 3rd option. I don't know if these were the 2 we wanted in front of him specifically, but I can live with it. Manu Quickly off the bench was probably a candidate. You gave Brickleberry Simmons a 6-man of the year over Mikal. Okay, not Mikal Bridges. Quickly. Johnson, Toppin, Claxton, Sharp, Whitehead, and Ellis. Rebounds per game is going to be Mr. Claxton, and assists Garland about 8 a game. I will definitely take that. It's damn near 20 points as well. All right, I just want to get through the pain that is going to be the play-in here. We have the Charlotte Hornets, young, up-and-coming team, like a lot of the things that the Charlotte Hornets are doing. I really hope LaMelo can stay healthy moving forward. And we lose, so we're done. We are officially going to be not in the playoffs, and that's honestly fine by me. Let's sim through the rest of this. It is a Cavaliers and a Thunder finals. God damn, Donovan. That's in 6 games, too. Cavs go on to win it all. I believe they were down 2-0 to start that off, and Donovan Mitchell is your finals MVP, averaging 42 points a game. I'm sure Darius Garland's pissed that he's here with us right now. All right, it is off-season number 2 time. Cannot override LeBron's retirement again, unfortunately. Staff retirements, cool, Hall of Fame, jerseys, all this fun stuff. All right, I know we're not supposed to ever pick this year. We are, okay, right there, number 12. Yeah, that's fine. That Phoenix pick is ours, though. That Phoenix pick is 100% ours, and it is currently projected at number 10, which is very, very nice. I also thought we had the Jazz first round pick. Maybe I'm... Oh, no. They were just good. Oh, wow. I thought I mean, to be fair, I would have given... I would have actually probably given up a first-round pick to get rid of Ben Simmons, but we actually got one. It ends up being number 22 overall. And then we also have the 10th overall pick. So not bad. Not bad considering, all circumstances given. We're obviously comfortable with Stauffer. Up to the draft. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. We could maybe draft a guy or two, build up the lower end of this bench. Oh, we actually also have 25 from Houston. It was a swap. At least according to 2K. So what I might consider doing is moving up maybe like top 6. Just see if we can get one like blue chip prospect that can really be an impactful piece off the bench for us. I said I was going to trade up, and I maybe lied. I'd actually love to add Jaren Jackson Jr. to this team. He's listed as a center right now. I would obviously go ahead and play him at the power forward spot. He's a big upgrade over Cam Johnson, and ultimately he's an upgrade that we need on this team desperately. I'm not saying Johnson didn't do his job for what we expected out of him, but we have to make upgrades at some point. We have the draft capital. We have players we can move. Why the hell not now? So how about we make a deal, Memphis? This is number 10 overall, by the way. I wouldn't mind hanging on to one first-round pick. Okay, I guess I can do that. Welcome to the team, Triple J. Very excited to have him here. He's going to take over as our starting power forward. Him and Nick Claxton is going to be an insane defensive front court, but I'm very excited about the possibilities with this. And now it's just kind of determining some of the other personnel, because in all honesty, our starting 5 next year is probably set. Still going to have a really good 6th man in Emmanuel quickly. I am going to draft somebody here. I don't know who it's going to be. I definitely don't need the 2nd round pick, so I'll just sim up here to number 25, just see who's available. Asa Noel, Xavier Booker. Why does that name sound familiar? Xavier Booker, Michigan State. VJ Miller is actually ranked pretty high, at least according to SN, which at least that's... Oh, the sporting... Okay. And then 2K. So, you know what? I'll take a flyer on him. I also see Scotty Middleton, somebody down here. Again, none of these guys are going to be, elite talent for us, but we did just trade away Keon Ellis. Let's bring in VJ Miller. He's only a 70 overall, so probably won't play at least year 1. We'll bring back Dariq Whitehead on his team option. Sharp and Thomas, both free agents I would like to retain the services of. So, in terms of money, we don't really have much to spend. We did spend a decent amount last offseason. Sure, we maybe could have saved it, but I'm fine just spending money on the guys that we have here, because I do like both Thomas and Sharp. Other than that, it's just going to be about filling out the bench. Again, excited to have both these players back, and let's just see what everything's looking like right now. How's everything shaping up? Good here. Need a backup shooting guard. I don't love the idea of, just depending on the development of Whitehead, but it's something I can probably live with. Also, is Bridges expiring, or does he have an option? No, he's expiring. So would I consider maybe a trade? I'm not saying I wouldn't, but it would have to be, the exact right deal, like just hypothetically. That Suns pick could be big too. I don't need Jared Allen, even though he'd be a nice piece. I mean, every time I don't need a certain position, I get offered that position. I don't need a center. I get offered only centers. All right, I don't love the idea of any of these deals, really. So, you know what I'll probably do? I'll hang on for Bridges for one more year, and then maybe we go sign and trade route. Maybe I just bring him back, whatever it may be. I don't have to trade Bridges. I think he's a fine player, especially with the way we've designed this team. But ultimately, might not be endgame for us, if I'm being honest with you. So, we'll give one more year of Whitehead. He's also going to have another team option after this year, which will be nice. So, our only good thing... I can't fucking speak. Our only goal right now is to bring in a backup shooting guard. A guy like Jaden Hardy, still relatively young at only 23 years old, is a restricted free agent. Could do the same thing with Quentin Grimes. So, let's do offers to both of them. And if they both accept, we'll have to make a decision then. Of course, both their respective teams could match, but let's just see. Either of you want to... Wait, can I get them both? Okay, no, I could not, but that's fine. I mean, if I did get them both, I was going to bring them both in and just play one at the backup small forward spot. But we take Jaden Hardy, 23 years of age, 78 overall. Excited to have him here. All right, we are all set. I will see you guys at the start of year 2. It's year 2 for us here in Brooklyn. We are very much hoping we've kind of turned this thing around. And I really think there's a possibility this team could be a little bit dangerous. Now, are we up there with the Celtics and the Bucks and the Cavs who just won it all last year? I wouldn't say that, but I do think we could make a little bit of noise if things go our way. Darius Garland, Cam Thomas. I am still a little bit nervous about the defense in this backcourt. Mikal Bridges here at the 3, Jackson Jr., and then Nick Claxton. I mean, obviously, 3 through 5 help out with the defense quite a bit. Man who quickly remains our 6th man. You got Obi Toppin here as well, Deron Sharp. Then 2 new additions here as 9 and 10 with Jaden Hardy. Oh, wait, no, only Jaden Hardy. Excuse me. My mistake. And then Dariq Whitehead also developing as well. So, it's not a terrible team. I'll say that. I don't think we're up there, as I just mentioned, with some of the heavyweights in the East, but we're definitely on the right track and smooth sailing ahead, hopefully. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. 45 and 37. That's what we wrap up the second regular season with here in Brooklyn. It's not terrible. Of course, it is better than last year. I was hoping to be a little closer to 50 wins, but I can live with it, I guess. Playoffs are going to determine a lot. Nikola Jokic, let's just rename the award after him at this point. Ace Bailey's Rookie of the Year. He is a Memphis Grizzly. Nikola Vucevic, Sixth Man of the Year now in Cleveland. Wemby, your DPOY once again. Filipowski, Most Improved. Luka, Clutch Player of the Year. Those numbers are so insane. Mike Malone is your Coach of the Year. Yeah, I mean, we have the playoffs coming up. I'm not exactly sure what to expect. Here are the numbers real quick. Thomas, Garland, Bridges, Jackson, Quickly, Toppin, Claxton, Sharp, Whitehead. Okay, boards per game was Claxton and assists was Garland. Let's see the full standings real quick. We are a 6 seed here, so we're not in the play-in, which is good. We're going to have the Orlando Magic in round 1. Not necessarily a terrible matchup, but honestly, I would have preferred like the fucking Hornets or somebody. But let's just do it. Let's see how this goes. And Orlando's a good team. Definitely are. Anthony, Monk, Wagner, Banchero, Jalen Duren's a nice pick. Mitchell Robinson. How many centers do you need? Okay. Good Lord. All right. We drop game 1. Do tie it up at 1-1, which is nice to see. We go down 2-1. Also tie it up again. We go up 3-2. They force game 7, and we lose. All right, heading into the final offseason, of course, not winning a playoff series is not typically a recipe for keeping the entire core together. And honestly, I think we need to add some more defense. I think we need another transcendent kind of superstar, if you will. Wow, Harden and DeRozan calling it careers. I don't know exactly who that player is. I don't know exactly who we're going to move to make that happen, but obviously somebody has to go. You know, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and hoping for a different result. Draft lottery time. I don't think we've traded for any picks that would net us a lottery spot. I don't see anything at least. Thunder, Knicks, Heat, Celt. Wow, it's just funny. It's crazy just looking at those like top 5 right there. Like those are 5 of some of the best teams in the NBA right now. Insane. All right, we're good with Stauffer, even though maybe a little bit of an underwhelming job so far, but legitimately, statistically, we cannot get a better head coach. We have the 21st pick in round 2. I don't really need it, so we'll skip over the draft this season. And we hit team player options. Whitehead will come back. Qualifying Terry Taylor, no thank you. And we take a look at free agency here, where I know we have a couple guys probably. Yeah, Jaren Jackson Jr., Mikal Bridges are both guys I'd like to retain. I think there's a possibility I move Bridges, but again, just a possibility. We're just talking right now. So a trade is coming for who? I have no idea, but you guys will know when I do. We're going to hit up the New Orleans Pelicans and see if there's any level of willingness to maybe trade me Brandon Ingram in a package that includes Mikal Bridges. Now, I think in terms of the overalls, sure, 4 overalls is definitely a big difference. The numbers are better for Ingram, but I just think above all else, Brandon Ingram's just in another class ahead of Mikal Bridges. And I think that, you know, true, like, I don't want to say number 1 because maybe he's not the number 1, but a true kind of almost game-changing type player like Brandon Ingram is exactly what we need here. So I know it's not going to be, you know, a cheap price. VJ Miller is definitely somebody I'd consider throwing in this deal. I'd even consider Whitehead if we have to. I don't love breaking up the rest of the bench, but we have some draft capital now, which is, of course, very big moving forward. I don't know exactly how many draft picks it's going to take, but we're in the final season. We can't keep them for no reason, and we make the trade and add Brandon Ingram. So I think we're pretty much set everywhere else. I in some ways, I almost feel like I have to trade either Claxton or Thomas. Now, Thomas has been our leading scorer. I fully understand that, but we really haven't added that defensive element in the backcourt that I've really desperately kind of been looking for. And I don't think Darius Garland's probably the guy to go. So I don't want to just give up Cam Thomas because he's a very valuable piece of this team, and I fully understand he's only 24. But heading into a championship or bust final season when we haven't won a playoff series yet, times are desperate, man. I don't know if I've ever seen DeJounte Murray have 4.5 stars, but I'd love to try to add him to this team. If you're wondering why Jordan McLaughlin's here, it's because I just signed him to a minimum contract just to trade him. Yes, I know nobody likes it when I do it, but I legitimately, if you look at this, I'm $376,000 off of making this trade work money-wise. Now, I know to a lot of people that is a lot of money, and including me, myself, it is, but certainly in a deal for an NBA player, if I can, you know, make it work, I'm going to do it. So, again, I've never seen Murray quite at 4.5 stars. He'd obviously be a huge defensive upgrade in this backcourt and a piece that I really would hope would work. Obviously, he has played with a smaller point guard before, a.k.a. Trae Young, and it didn't work very well, so maybe it will here with Garland. But we're going all in. It's a deal that had to be made. DeJounte Murray is he's a better player than Cam Thomas. I believe that. So in terms of upgrading the bench, I honestly think I'm just going to roll with the punches. We've made 2 big upgrades in the starting 5. This is a championship caliber team at this point, in my opinion. I'll see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final regular season. After another disappointing end to a disappointing season, this offseason we went ahead and pushed all in. We went ahead and pretty much gave up every single draft pick we had in the future, and we've put together a team that I really do believe is a championship caliber group. Now, obviously, we didn't have any choice. We had to do that. It's the final season. For those of you saying, well, you always just do that. Well, no, not always, but yes, I understand what you're saying. And the 5 and 10 year rebuilds, when they do come after the NBA season, when the summer is here, these rebuilds will go much differently. So I fully understand that sometimes these can get repetitive. It is just the business that I am in. So I will make sure that the 5 and 10 year rebuilds are different. I don't just push in all in the final regular season. We'll develop guys further. You understand where I'm coming from. Garland, DeJounte Murray newly acquired, Brandon Ingram newly acquired, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Nick Claxton your 1 through 5. I really like the way this starting 5 fits together, not just because there's almost 5 all-star talents here. I'm also surprised Claxton's overall hasn't climbed at all. Obviously, we have him in the starting 5 for defensive purposes. It's not like we need him to put up 20 a game. But I think this starting 5 has a really good mix of guys that can score the basketball. Obviously, we added some pretty good defense with Murray in the backcourt. I like the way it fits. I really do. Quickly remains our 6th man off the bench. You got Jaden Hardy here as well, Obi Toppin, Deron Sharp, and then we're rolling with Dariq Whitehead. The man's up to a 78 overall for a 10th and final guy in the rotation. That's just about as good as it gets. I will see you guys at the end of what is going to be a very big make or break season. I'm on top of the world right now after that regular season. We go 69 and 13. Nice, as always. No, but in all seriousness, it's a hell of a flip from 45 wins last season, 38 wins the year before. So again, it's an all-in season. We made the moves we did for the reason that we're looking at right now. It's the best team in the league, what I'm assuming. So here goes nothing. Luka Doncic, your MVP, a triple-double. Darius Cuff Jr., not a name I'm familiar with, but he's your rookie of the year in DC. He was the 11th overall pick. Cool to see somebody, outside the top 3. Zach Edey, he is the backup to Joel Embiid. He's your 6th man of the year. Victor Wembanyama is your DPOY. Dylan Harper, most improved. Luka, clutch player of the year. And Stafford does take home coach of the year. Okay, beautiful. Now, it was a great regular season, but to a team that has had legitimately 0 postseason success so far, I am hoping that this is going to be a very, very fast turnaround because we need it to be. We desperately do. Here are the numbers. Brandon Ingram took over as our number 1 leading scorer. Darius Garland, DeJounte Murray, Jackson, Hardy, quickly. Claxton, Toppin, Whitehead, and Sharp. Rebounds per game was Claxton, and assists was Mr. Garland. So, in a nice change of pace, we're facing a play-in team this time, and that team is the Miami Heat. Davion Mitchell, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Taylor Hendricks, Bam Adebayo. You got Jaime off the bench, Miles McBride, Deuce McBride there. Damn, Koa Pete. All right, so, good team, Miami. I think we're better, but there's still always going to be a test, especially with playoff Jimmy, and maybe it's just not, because that is a sweep. All right, East semis here. Cavaliers, I believe they've been in the finals the last 2 years, and they have not only replaced Darius Garland, but they've done it in a big way. Because this guy right here is pretty good, Mr. Jamal Murray. So now him and Donovan Mitchell are in backcourt, while still having Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. I'm genuinely curious, because you didn't trade Darius Garland for Jamal Murray, right? He's here with us in Brooklyn. So what did you give Denver? Right? I don't know if I've ever in one of these rebuilds seen Jamal Murray on a team not named the Denver Nuggets, unless I traded for him. So I'm very interested to see how you got him. I mean, did you just give him a bag of basketballs? Maybe throw in a couple peanuts? Because Jamal Murray's not some small player. He's very good, especially come playoff time. So that sucks that this is a second-round matchup. I hope it goes well. It couldn't have gone better. Okay. I mean, we're a 70-win team, basically. I don't know why I'm expecting anything different, but no, all right. And I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but dare I say that this New York Knicks team is not as good as the Cavs team we just swept. So, again, an all-New York Eastern Conference Finals is cool, especially when we have yet to lose a... Why? Why do I talk? I don't know. Thank you. Don't do this. 2K back on their bullshit. All right, here in Game 7, I don't want to have game plan Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. I'd much rather save it for the actual finals, and 2K is going to allow me to do that. All right, we are heading into the NBA Finals, take on the New Orleans Pelicans here. A very good team, but we did trade Brandon Ingram for Mikal Bridges, so revenge series for both those players. Backcourt of Dyson Daniels, Jacoby Walter. He's from Baylor, right? He's the Baylor product. I thought so. All right, Walker Kessler's new addition here next to Zion Williamson. That would be an interesting fit. I know Zion's shot has gotten a little bit better. Kessler, a little bit of a solid defensive center, but I'm interested to see how this fit. I don't like it when Herb Jones comes off the bench. I'm a big Herb Jones guy. You guys know this. Yusuf Nurkic, Jordan Poole, what the hell? I'm not really sure what they're cooking up there in New Orleans, but I don't know. I really don't. We go up 3-2. We're heading back to NOLA here for Game 6. I'd like to just close them out, eliminate my stress levels. That would certainly be nice. They're battling back and forth right now. It looks like it's going to be a close call here. At the end, fight back. Okay, I'll see you in there. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. These are not exactly the situations that I like putting myself in when I hop in and do gameplay. And the reason behind that is because I suck at this game. You all are very much aware of that. Is that Dario Saric trying to cross up to Dejounte Murray? What the fuck? I'm saying I don't like to be in these spots. What the hell is he doing? I don't like to be in these spots because I suck at this game. You all know that, but still, you're all sickos and you still like watching me play. So I prefer for it to be a blowout so that pressure can be... How long is this shot clock? Good block, Jaren Jackson Jr. I like to be stress-free. Obviously, this is not a stress-free situation. I was not... Oh my God. I was not... I was trying to pass to Murray, who was cutting originally, and then it just didn't necessarily work out the way I wanted to. Who is that? Inside... What is this game right now? All right, they're going to take a timeout. I'm not mad about that. I want my starters in. I want my starting five. There's no reason that Dario Saric and the Funky Bunch out there should be getting any side of playing time. So, respectfully, I'm happy that they took the timeout. Let me make sure our starters are in the game. They are, so we are all set there. And now we have 2 minutes, and we're going to be a member of NBA history forever if we're able to pull this one off here and eliminate the New Orleans Pelicans. But a big ways to go with 2:25 left. On-ball defense with Darius Garland sounds like my absolute dream from hell. And Dyson Daniels, thankfully, isn't... Where was that, Mikal, when you were in Brooklyn, right? You weren't catching one-handed lobs and throwing them behind your head. Get the fuck out of here with that. Don't you do that to me now that you're on the opposing team. That's some grade A bullshit. That's not what I meant to click. I don't know what this play is, but... Oh, is it an off-ball screen? I have no idea what that play is. I didn't even see what it said. All right, Claxton... Okay, just easy layup for Garland. I don't know why the picks are working so well today. I need more out of Darius Garland. 12 points and a closeout game potentially in the finals is just not going to do it. So I'm going to be a world-class scumbag. I'm going to play off-ball defense because Darius Garland already is not a good defender. And that, as I'm sure you're all privy to at this point, I'm not. Oh my God, he got a steal. Kick it up to Ingram. No, why are you going out? Why are we going like 5 out here? I rushed it. I rushed it. We do have the lead, which is nice. I don't know why Brandon Ingram immediately cut out to the three-point line. Like, drive to the basket. I had you cutting. Jacoby Walters pulling it. He missed. Oh, my God, he missed. All right, I'd rather control... I passed. Thank you. With Garland. And Bridges is just asleep. Jaren Jackson Jr. gets up. Oh, my God. I don't know why I shot that. Wait, were we not? Oh, my God, we weren't up. We were down. Okay, I was looking at the wrong team. Holy shit, now we're up, and now there's a minute left to go. I'm not playing on-ball defense. Call me a bitch, call me whatever you want. It's the reality of the situation. Is this... Oh, Zion. God damn it. I shouldn't play on-ball defense against anybody. I thought I did a decent job there, but apparently not good enough. Do I go full sicko mode right now and call for a floppy? I think I might. I'm confident right now in my three-point shooting abilities, and it's going to be with Dejounte Murray. That's a bad shot. It still went in. It still went in. That's what she said. It's still... I cannot believe that. Okay, no timeout here from the Pelicans. They have one remaining. I'm not playing on-ball defense against Zion. He's going to take a fadeaway. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. And now our goal is to just waste as much clock as possible. We have a 2-point lead. There's 16 seconds left on the shot clock. I'm going to call for a screen, do this the old bitch way, but I want to waste as much time as humanly possible. Oh, no, I thought somebody called the time. I'm like, what? I didn't do that. Oh, he automatically came up with the screen. Inside, no, not what I'm doing. Backdoor. That's a bad shot. I had to get one up, though. All right, they're going to miss. They're going to take a timeout now. Shit. I fucked that up because I don't know what it is. Jackson came up to give the screen earlier. I didn't ask him to do, like, I didn't hit LB. That didn't happen. He just kind of came way too quickly. Not what I was going for. All right, what does the defensive lineup look like? I'm assuming it's going to flip some of the starters. I mean, there is some pretty... All right, so it's going to put Josh Richardson in the game right now. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to put... Let me see here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Hardy here, who's only a 74 overall defensively. God damn it. That's Jalen McDaniels. All right, I'm still putting Hardy there, and then I'm going to put I'm going to put DeJounte Murray at the point guard spot. That makes sense to me. Dariq Whitehead, I'm actually going to keep in Brandon Ingram. I know it's probably not smart. I just don't trust Darius Garland's defense a ton. Not that I'd really trust Jaden Hardy either, but maybe a little bit more. And especially to have Murray on the point guard makes a lot of sense. They're going to go... I'd like to exercise my right to take a timeout now. That was not what I was expecting. Jacoby Waltler just caught me back door. Whoa. Not okay. I need to stop speaking. Starters are back in the game. We got everybody where we want to go. 2K is going to drop some auto-generated bullshit play. I have one of my own that tends to work for whatever reason. I don't know why this works, but it like always does. Garland. Foul. Oh my God. How did that work? Oh my God. What the fuck is this game? Oh my God. All right. No timeouts for the Pelicans. So even if we hit the free throw, they have to go down. Oh my God. I missed. I didn't miss. Okay. I don't know. Dyson Daniels? You're not going to dribble, dude? Okay. I thought that was going in. It's happened to me before. It did not today. That's a championship. What a way to end it. What a way to end it. We get a championship here in our final regular season, and Brandon Ingram is your finals MVP. Wow, that was a crazy video. That was crazy gameplay, and honestly, a pretty good team. We had 980-plus overalls after having a not great roster to start off this video, so I'm pretty happy with the result. I've been having an absolute blast with these off-season rebuilds. It seems like you guys have really been enjoying them as well. As I mentioned, as I'm sure many of you are aware, there's only so many teams I can do until more teams are eliminated, so there's still some to do. Obviously, the play-in tournament next week, we're going to get more teams eliminated, so definitely got a lot of off-season content coming up, and especially with the draft, you know, only a couple months away. I'm excited about it. All right, man. Thanks so much for watching. Wait, I fucked that up. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one.